Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Fixing Up the Commonwealth. I hope you're well today. And here we are back at Canty Crossing, and I don't think this has a very long to go, this build. I think we are getting very close. Very close to the end. So we're going to concentrate in this back corner next to the factory. Just beyond what we built last week. And thanks so much for all your comments last week. Thanks for all your likes and whatnot. I really appreciate your feedback, and I know everybody that is watching this is loving this series so far. So let's get into the build menu and we'll get started with a bit of a medical centre this week. So if you've been watching my settlement builds for a while, you'll know that I sort of have a list of things that I tend to have in my settlements. Now, medical centre's not always there, but there is some kind of doctor's medical place, chems supply, usually in the settlement. And there's this back corner here, which I didn't realise how big this area was. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just looking to try and get rid of these bushes, but I can't scrap them. So that's one of the things that determines the kind of starting point for the build, because I've got to have the foundations a bit higher than I normally have them, but that's not such a big drama. So we're going to put that down there for now. We'll get rid of that in a while, and we'll put a wee ramp down here so that you can go up and over, or you can come up the side of the factory there. And there we go, like that. And we'll just snap that to the building we made last week, like that. Here we go, pretty simple stuff. So we're going to build, I'm not going to make a huge building here, we're going to make a reasonable sized building. And for today's materials, I'm actually going to use the barn tab, because, you know, technically that's still wood, so although the foundation's got a little bit of cement in it. But anyway, shh, don't tell anybody. Anyway. So we're going to get that reasonably close to the boundary. Not as close as you would think. We got to give, as I've said before, you need to give yourself a little bit of room so that you can snap things on it. And I want this high enough so that these aren't coming up through the floor, which they're not, which is good. So all good so far. So I'm kind of conscious of the fact that if you see there's a kind of what looks like farm machinery in the background, and therefore I thought the barn, that's what kind of inspired me to use the barn tab, because it is a little bit rural at Canty Crossing. Rural, easy for you to say. So I'm going to use these white ones, or are they a kind of green colour actually. And I'm going to experiment. I'm going to experiment a little bit. I can't get my words out today for some reason with these walls. Now, you'll see I do have an idea for the entranceway of this building, which I've just remembered. It actually doesn't work, but so I was going to have the kind of barn opening, and you know the idea I originally had was to have this as a converted barn, and so make the barn and then make it look as though the settlers have come in and they've converted it into a medical facility. That was kind of the direction, or at least the thought process, or the thought I had in my head to start with. So you can see that piece there, for some reason the boundary just encroaches a fraction, and I'm not going to move everything just for that one piece, and it is just a slight encroachment there. That's a big word, isn't it? I can't get some words out, but I can say encroachment, so who knows. It's one of those days. It's been a long day today. We had a very good stream today with the Borderlands series. Mikey and I went ballistic as usual. If you haven't caught up on any of those streams, and you do like a little bit of Borderlands, or you're a bit curious and haven't seen Borderlands before, please check out the Borderlands playlist on the channel. There's lots and lots of stuff. Now, streaming, while we're doing this, streaming is going to become much more of a thing I'm going to do going forward. I've decided to change the kind of mix of how I output content for the channel, and so I'm going to do a little bit more streaming and a little bit less of these kind of videos, which are obviously pre-recorded and then voiced over or edited videos. So I want to try and get the mix right. I have got a target that I want to hit fairly shortly, which is 600 subs, but I also have another target in mind now that I want to hit before the end of the year, and to get to that target it's going to take some work, to be honest. So once I hit 600 subs, I will be talking about that second target in a little bit more detail. Now, I do say hello to all the new subs and thank you so much for your support. It's really nice to continue to grow the channel as we have. I'm going to take that out there. Okay. Here we go. Up we go. And here I'm just roughly feeling my way in. I'm not quite sure how big this is going to be up here. So I'm just trying to get a kind of sense of what I want to put up here. Now you can see I put that in there, and then I realised, well, I can't do that because yeah, you can't get up the stairs if you do that. So this kind of determines how big this area is going to be upstairs, like this. There we go. Oh, and just a warning, that's going to happen a lot during this build. I'm going to fall off quite a bit in this kind of segment here. So it's quite it's early evening in Sydney at the moment, so it's been a very busy day with things like streaming. I have been doing some graphics for a new stream that you probably know what it is by now, because I'm planning to stream tomorrow as I'm recording this, a new game that I've just got. And then what else were we doing today? All kinds of stuff. But okay, so here's the thing: if you can't get these kind of stairs to go central into, I want them central into the doorway, and you can see so where they join. These are there are half stairs, so put a full one in, put a half one in, and then take the full one out and put another half one in, and then that, look at that, makes it central to the door. What I don't like is the fact that there are gaps there, and the door just feels too big for me. So we will be doing something with that later. Now, I decide to do something fancy and Nancy with the roofs. And yeah, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you will know full well that I do not do well when I try and do something fancy with roofs. Roofs and I just don't see eye to eye. Ooh, that rhymes. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, I get it. However, I haven't learned my lesson, so here we go. We're going to try and do something. It actually does turn out pretty neat in the end, but yeah, it's a bit of it becomes a struggle. We go like that. So I've got I'm looking at that going, yeah, I like that, but I've got a gap. How I'm going to solve it? It's actually an easy solve, and you'll see that in a little while. This is a pretty easy building to do, and yeah, it's much more decoration than building, but I thought I'd leave this bit in because it's a building show, isn't it? Really, it's a building. It's about building, rebuilding the Commonwealth. So I couldn't really just do decoration. Thank you so much for all the comments on the community build, the community gathering place that we built, or aka the bar. I'm happy to know that you got, and please continue with the comments. The comments are very useful to me to understand what you want to see on this kind of segment, not only now but going forward and for the future. Because the fact that you were saying is you're liking the fact that we put a episode together where I showed the whole process of building and decorating. You seem to have enjoyed that, and I'll do a few more of those in the future because that was very popular. So you can see I'm having some issues here with these pieces snapping on, that they want to go at a 90-degree angle both times. So here's how to solve this. You see I'm falling off all over the place. So I'm going to persist to try and snap this in, but what I decide to do is get rid of that. See, I'm trying all kinds of stuff. And the solution is actually extremely simple. So get rid of that. Go and find a roof piece like this. Now, I stupidly picked the wrong roof piece because you'll see in a second. I've made this roof lower. Oh, you're bumping your head there. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? So I don't know what. I have been a little bit sick last week or so, so I think I was just, I don't know. I think oh, here we go. See, we're falling off again. So I don't think I was fully on my game here. So we make it. So there you go. We just drop that in, get rid of that, put the roofs in, and then it's a case of just snapping the other side to it. It's a pretty simple fix. Now, I do have a problem here with things this other end snapping properly, and I don't. Oops. I did warn you guys. I did warn you this would happen. I'm not sure why that wasn't snapping properly. It takes me a while to figure it out, but anyway, I'll just fix it and move on. There we go. Snap. Okay, so back to the back to falling through the floor. Back to the roof parts again, the wall parts for the roof, and there you go, snap straight in. There you go, easy. Shouldn't be a problem at all. What are you doing? No, that one. No, go back. That's it. Cool. That should snap right in there. Look. And then I realised there's something wrong here. There you go, like that. Oh, what? It's pretty easy to solve. But something weird has gone on here. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. But anyway. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. There you go. And then you can see, hang on a second. There's a gap there. Why is there a gap there? I'm like, that's weird. So, I don't know why it was being special today, but it was being special today. So there's something wrong with that roof. There we go. So that's what it was. It wasn't snapping on quite right. So maybe if you're doing your build, put those small walls on first, and it might solve this problem from happening. There you go. Yeah, one of those days in Fallout, guys. You'll all have them. Trust me, you will have them. Look at that. It's just, it's strange. This should snap perfectly, but it doesn't. But anywho, who cares? We got there. We get there in the end. So yeah, at the end of the day, you just gotta keep powering along. So I do something a bit tricky here. Look, watch. Which is, oh, there you go. Stick that along there. Pull that across there like that. Cool. Realize I've got the wrong window in there, so we'll put that in there like that. Thank you. Push that one along there like that. It's like, I don't know, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? And there we go. All because I wanted different windows in. Okay, we're coming together fairly nicely. You can see I've kept those floors in with the kind of see-through look, just to keep it kind of authentic to the barn, like that. I don't think it's necessarily needed, but admire my handiwork. Yeah, that's all right. I think there's probably too many windows there. Yeah, sometimes it's worth doing that just to have a good look at the place, because sometimes it might look good when you're in the inside. You walk outside and you go, oh yeah, that's quite work. These will just snap in that gap there. They will. You saw it. Saw it with your own eyes. There you go. There you go. I don't know why it was being special, but it was being special. There we go. And we snap the other one in there, and then we're fixed. Thank you for that burnout, Mr. Racer guy. Right in the middle of my commentary. There we go. Cool. The birds are sleeping tonight. Sorry guys, I know a lot of you are you've been commenting on the birds, and you like the birds participating in our videos, but tonight no mass birds, they're all asleep. There we go. That will stop me falling through that gap now. I could actually put a floor down there, you know. Could have made that floor even bigger. But anywho, I think this is where we end up anyway. We'll just put a normal little... There we go. That will do. Donkey. There we go. Yeah, okay. So we need. You can see I don't like that doorway. It's just too wide. It does give me a little bit of a problem. But like, well, it's not a problem because I think it is, but you guys probably wouldn't even notice it until I bring it up. But the stair now, that stair doesn't line up with the doorway now. See, it's not square to the doorway, but anyway, yeah, it's just a thing that I get kind of annoyed by. You don't have to worry about it. So that's not going to work. Just take it out. It's fine. I want that square now, and it's not going. You're not going to get it square, but as long as we can get it into place, it's got a little bit of a gap on that side, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. Okay, here we go. And you probably can hear the next door neighbour practicing his drums. Everybody's out today. They're all celebrating that we're building a medical centre. I do not like that window there. Okay, we probably need to change that, but anyway, we will. I don't know why we've stopped all of a sudden, but we have. I would just think that's thinking music. So I'm not particularly fond of that window there. However, I do leave it in, and if you've been with the channel a while, you'll know exactly where I'm going next. Because what I want to do is I want to scrap it up a bit. So we're going to use these wall boards to do that, and we're going to layer these up. And I've done this in previous videos, but I probably haven't done it for a while. So this window effectively is going to disappear anyway. So if I can ever get this to stick there, that's what we wanted. And so it doesn't look as bad once we get it junked up. So here's an idea just to give your settlements a little bit more depth. And this is the kind of stuff you can use. You can use these pieces. I think they come with workshop rearranged. In fact, I'm pretty sure they do. And all you do is you just start sticking them to the wall and just put them in layers and layers and layers so that they look a little bit junky, like this. And yeah, it just starts to change the kind of look of the building a little bit. They are a bit tricky to get in. I have got other ones that don't snap to the building that I could use and manipulate it a little bit more, but yeah, I'm just basically lazy. Couldn't be bothered really. Then I'm going to use some junk fences, and I'm going to continue to add bits and pieces to this. Come on, go green. There we go. Thank you. Just to make it look as though it's supported. It's it's an old building that's been abandoned, whatever you want. It's a good way of just changing the look of a building and making it a little bit more junkified, as my friend would say. Junkalicious, I think, was Helena's phrase. I love that. Junkalicious. We're going to make it look junkalicious. So here we go. We've had a sleep, and we come back. We're back into the menu, and you can see we've put a whole lot of crap on that wall. And now what we're going to do is quickly put some supports in, and then we're going to go to the tour. So it's a quick little project today. I do have this mod called Posts Something and Something. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I always forget the name of this particular mod, but it effectively gives you all these posts, supports and all kinds of stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make it look as though it's been propped up, like the wall's about to fall down. And I have used this in previous builds as well. There we go, like that. So it's going to go in there. And I'm going to put a couple in, just a couple. And it's I know it's a little touch, but it actually makes a lot of difference to just change a little bit the look of the building. The building's now broken up a little bit. Just make sure they're not poking through the wall. It just changes the look of the building, just that fraction, enough just to be a little bit interesting. It breaks up the kind of symmetry of the building, and just adds a feature to it, I guess. It just adds something a little bit more. Okay guys, that's pretty much all we're going to do. I'm going to faff around with these for a little bit more, and then we will come back and we will show you what we have made. We're going to put this junk fence in here as well, just to make it look as though it's supported, and we'll come back in a second. And here we go, the finished article. The clinic. And you can see, I'm going to give you a good look around in a second on the outside, and then we'll go in. It's a bit bright for the sun, so we'll get it into a bit of shade so you can kind of sort of get the idea. I did put that that electrical pole in there, and I've got exposed wires going on just because there's lots of them around, and it sort of kind of works. But you can see, oh, where did dog meat come from? I've built a little bit of a wall with pallets there and some boxes and whatnot, just to block up that gap. I don't know what the heck dog meat is doing, but anyway, used some breeze blocks walls, and it does actually work. It stands out a little bit, it does actually work with the rest of the settlement, and you know there's something different about the building, which is what I wanted it to look like. So okay, yeah, just ignore that wire that doesn't have a home. So let's go inside, let's have a look, see what it looks like once it's all been spruced up. You can see all this crappy stuff on the outside of the door, the wall makes a difference. So in we come. We have a little waiting area here. If you want a drink, you can grab one. There's a couple of magazines there. Of course, you have to report to the receptionist. Yeah, I'd like to see a doctor. Have a seat there, and we'll just wait. And we have 2 consultancy rooms on the ground floor. So these are pretty much the same layout in both. All I've really done is the desk is a little bit different in them, and the doctor's bag's a little bit different in them. Now that doctor bag I didn't even know existed. It comes with creative clutter. I've used the greenhouse doors just to give it a little bit more of an area look, an office look, and you can see that one's got a bone saw and stuff, but a different desk in here, but effectively it's just the same, and you've got a little chair for sitting down in the doctor's chair as well. So pretty nice. Used the perk charts there, the chemist and the chem resistance perk. Now for some reason this is floating off the wall, this skull poster. I don't know why, but the other one that's in this group is also floating off the wall. But anyway, never mind. This is the nurse's station. A little bit of reading there if you need to. I thought there would Massachusetts medical there'd be, but we have a little medical ward up here, very small, nice and compact. Again, these screens from the creative clutter is really what you can see. This thing's floating off the wall too, is what inspired this whole build. Just those items there. I wanted to make something that I could use those screens with. So 3 beds crammed in here. If you need a little bit more attention, then well, you come up here. So there you go guys, nice, compact, neat and tidy, converted a barn conversion basically into a medical centre. So let's get medical. I want to get medical. Okay, enough of that. Let's do a speed run to the other end of this settlement. And guys, we really have got very little more to do in this settlement, so it's up to you to let me know. And a few of you already have given me suggestions for the next settlement where we could go. Also give me suggestions on a kind of theme for the next Fixing Up the Commonwealth. But I reckon we've probably got one more episode to do next week, and it will be down in this area, down around here. And I've already got an idea after my little soiree into Fallout 76 a couple of days ago, what we're going to do in that area. Thanks for joining us on the channel. Thanks for coming back to fixing up the Commonwealth, and we'll see you next time on the channel. See ya.